Hey yogis, I'm Nicole. Welcome back to My Yoga Time. Today's practice is a deeply restorative practice. We're focusing on the myofascial, superficial front line of the body. So this line runs from the tops of the feet, fronts of the legs to the thighs, up the center line of the body, around the side of the neck, and then loops to the back of the head. So we'll be combining some restorative poses with self-massage with your massage ball. So I'm using the Cork massage ball from the My Yoga Time home cupping set. But you can use any massage ball, and if you don't have a massage ball, you can even improvise with a tennis ball. I've also got 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have those, grab yourself a really thick book and a rolled up towel or even a pillow or all of the above. And when you're ready, let's begin. We're going to come down onto your back. Just take your ball to the side and reach for your block. Coming into a supported bridge pose. So up to you whether the block is on the flat side or coming up to the second height. Just resting with those palms facing the ceiling and gently tucking your shoulders under. So really important throughout the practice that we keep the jaw relaxed and find a gentle tone in the back of your throat. So to help facilitate this, let's place the very tip of your tongue where the teeth meet the roof of the mouth. You should feel space between the top and bottom teeth. And feeling the breath roll over the back of the throat. You might like to take a mudra through the hands, connecting index finger and thumbs. And keeping in mind that the superficial front line of the body loops around the back of the head, let's just gently rock the head from side to side. But be sure to move slowly with the breath. Inhaling to center and exhaling to the other side. And whenever your mind wanders in today's practice, just bring your awareness back to the breath, moving the body. Appreciate that each inhalation is creating space. It's going to press on those lines of tension. Each exhalation, expelling that tension. And your next inhalation to center is your last one. Turn the palms down. Pick up the hips and the heels together. Keep the heels high as you lower down one vertebrae at a time. Touching down, collecting those knees now, fingertips pointing towards the feet. Arms as straight as you inhale, bending the elbows as you exhale. And in just a moment, coming to seated, either roll to your side or feel free to rock and roll your way up. So for this seated position, I'm going to take a hold of the block and come into a supported hero pose. So the block is placed in between the feet. I'm sitting up on the block. If this isn't an option for you with your knees, feel free to cross the legs or straighten the legs. It really doesn't matter what's going on down here. Take a hold of your massage ball. So remembering that the myofascial line is moving from the back of the head down to the side of the neck, we're gently going to massage the side of the neck with the ball. So when using the ball, there's really no right or wrong way. We're all wearing different bodies, which look and feel different. So if you find a tender spot, do spend a little bit of time there, but be sure to spread the love around. Don't just focus purely on that one spot. Up to you how much pressure you apply. With the ball, we want to feel a good pain. So at times it can feel a little intense, which is why I encourage you to keep the tongue in position and the jaw relaxed. So to effectively reshape the fascia when using your massage ball, You've got a window of about 10 minutes where you want to stretch that area after you roll and release to get the most out of the self-massage. If you have the urge to come down below the collarbone, just work into the front of the shoulder there, feel free. And of course, when using the ball in this class, if you want to spend more time in that area than I am, by all means, just pause the class. Take as long as you need. From there, I'm going to place the ball down. Interlace the fingers, take the hands behind you. Take the hands now over to the left, point the elbow to the left, look over the left shoulder. From there, you're going to take the left ear to the shoulder and diagonally lift the chin. So you should instantly feel a nice lengthening from the jaw to the collarbones in that space that we were just rolling out. And let's come back to center. Recruit your ball, we'll move to the other side. Feel free to go a little lower now, underneath the collarbone. So quite often we don't realize how sore we are until we come to the mat, practice our yoga, or when we pick up a massage ball. Taking longer there if you need to, otherwise let's come into that next stretch. Take those fingers behind you, interlace them, arms over to the right, turn the head to the right. Drop the ear, diagonally lift the chin. And let's release. So come off your block now, we're going to come over into tabletop position. If you were sitting in hero pose like myself, you might like to quickly counter stretch the legs, pressing into the heel and the pads of the fingers, and changing sides. And to continue to open the front side of the body, let's come down into our puppy pose for just a few breaths. So forehead meeting the mat, if not your prop. Arms can be straight, hands as wide as the mat. Make sure your hips are up nice and high, or feel free to bring elbows closer, hands into prayer now above the head. Feeling the upper body expand with the inhalation. The in-breath pressing those lines of tension. And let's release, returning to your tabletop now. We're going to recruit our massage ball once again. This time take it to the shin, to the outer edge of the shin there, and begin to roll forwards and backwards. So this is really good if you're suffering shin splints. This part of the body is often quite neglected. You might choose to move Just up and down or cross fiber, little side to side action. We're taking longer there if you need to. I'm going to move to the other side. Taking longer there if you need to, otherwise for a brief moment pop the ball to the side. Now only if this is available for your knees, gently sit back onto those feet, hands behind you and picking up those knees. So gentle stretch here through the tops of the feet and through the front of the shins where we were just rolling. Squeeze the elbows back, lift the heart. And let's release. So we're going to come down onto your navel now. Make sure you've got your ball. We're going to work into those juicy thighs. So place the ball down close to the knee. You can prop yourself up in modified Sphinx pose. And just beginning to roll here, starting towards the inner leg. I'm starting with just a little cross fiber from side to side. Often a juicy or very tender spot for many. If you are looking for a little more juice, you can begin to straighten the leg and then very slowly bending, taking the heel towards the bottom. You can continue that as you roll side to side, or if you're starting to move up and down a little. Feel free to just slide the body down just a little so the ball is moving up a little higher. You'll lighten that self-massage by keeping the legs straight, or again, feel free to bend. Always moving slowly, mindfully, keeping the jaw relaxed. Breathe with awareness. So if you'd like longer here, please take it. Otherwise, let's remove the ball. And I'm going to roll over now onto my left side, and I've got my block handy. You can prop your head up with your hand. Bend your right leg and rest your right knee on the block. Left leg is straight. Heel points up to the ceiling, so you're rotating the leg. You can even lift up the thigh and turn the leg. Then take the leg back. Keep that rotation before bending the knee and collecting the foot. Of course, you can always use a strap here if you can't reach the foot. So here I want you to gently tuck the tailbone under, create a little bit of resistance between the foot and the hand. You should feel a gentle tone through your lower abdominal muscles as you try to shorten the space between the pubic bone and the belly button. And then deepen your breath. Release the leg on an exhalation. Return to your navel. We're just going to take a few breaths in your crocodile pose, so making a pillow with your hands, resting the forehead down. And just noticing any subtle differences between the left and the right leg. And let's change sides. When you're ready, recruit your ball once again. Take it down just above the knee, starting with the inner leg. Ooh, one side might be a little more juicy than the other. If this is causing discomfort on your back, propping yourself up so high, you can always lay yourself down. Feel free to go a little deeper, bending that leg, heel towards the bottom, and then straightening out the leg. Taking longer there if you need to, otherwise sliding the body down just a touch so the ball's a little higher on your thigh. Again, feel free to cross fiber side to side or up and down. And if you need longer, taking it there. Otherwise, remove the ball. Come to lay on your right side. Feel free to prop up your head. Make sure you've got your block. Resting the left leg now. So right leg is straight. Rotate the leg heel up to the ceiling. Take the leg back as far as you can. And then collecting the foot. Engaging the lower abdominal muscles. To effectively stretch our quads, we need to switch on our core. And then to deepen the pose, deepen your breath. Lovely back bend down the right side of the body. And let's release, pushing yourself up to seated. So we're going to come down into our very last back bend now, recruiting your blocks if you have them. So a few choices with this pose depending on what's going on with your knees and hips. I'm making a T-shape with my blocks and I've taken them to the second height. Both blocks are the same level. If you want to lighten the pose, block under the head goes higher. If you want to deepen the pose, block under the head goes lower. So the vertical block is going to meet at the top of my shoulders and the top block is behind my head. Now I'm going to come into a hero pose, Virasana. So gently moving those calf muscles to the side and sitting down in between the feet. Now if this is a bit of a stretch for you, you can prop a block or a rolled up towel underneath your bottom, or you might even like to take the Yin variation and sit on your feet and take those knees wide. That can feel really lovely as well. And it's a lighter pose because the hips are elevated. If this is not an option for you at all because of your knees, then skip that. And you'll come into butterfly pose instead. So you'll have the soles of the feet meeting, knees falling out wide, and then you'll recline. For those yogis who are coming down in their hero pose, I want you to come down mindfully. Push down through the tops of the feet and try and curl those toes up towards the knees. As you lean back, lift the hips and tuck your tailbone under so you've got space in your low back. Lowering down to find those blocks. And then resting with the arms by your side. Option to find your mudra once again. Checking the position of your tongue. Softness in the jaw. And just be. And let's prepare to come out of the pose now. You can turn the palms down. Tuck in your chin as you push yourself up. We'll just counter stretch through the backs of the legs here, tucking the toes under, finding your downward facing dog. Feel free to walk out the legs or move the hips from side to side. Take longer there if you need, otherwise lower those knees down to the mat. Let's move our props to the side. So that concludes our back bends. We're going to do a nice spinal and outer hip release now. Before we come into our reclined twist, let's recruit our ball once again. Coming into reclined pigeon, so right ankle to the left knee. I'm going to prop that ball underneath the right buttock. And begin to rock and roll. Feel free to move the ball a little higher. You might like to roll a little more to the outer hip. Your body will tell you where to go. So taking longer there if you need to. Otherwise, remove the ball, crossing the right leg over the left leg. I'm going to twist to the left, so hips move to the right just a touch. Take those knees over. Feel free to use your block underneath the legs for support. Arms out to the side, finding your mudra. And complete the twist by lifting the head. Move the back of the head left, and then turn your head to the right. And then deepen your twist by deepening your breath into your lower belly, your lower back. Finding a pause before each exhalation. Follow your next inhalation out of the twist. Recruiting your ball once again, recline pigeon left side. Feel free to move the ball a little higher or roll a little more to the outer hip. Again, you'll find your juicy spots that need a little extra attention. Taking longer if you need to, otherwise remove the ball. Crossing left leg over the right leg, let's come down into our twist. And be with your breath. Follow your next inhalation back to center. Let's move into Shavasana now, and if you've got those two blocks or your rolled up towel or your pillow, placing them underneath your thighs. Tucking your shoulders under and letting the palms face the ceiling. Finding your mudra once again. Let's soften the forehead. Let the eyes roll back. And the tongue and jaw relax. And just be. Begin to inhale a little deeper now. Swallow if the mouth is dry. Wiggle toes and fingers. Following any urges to stretch as they arise. Before rolling to your preferred side and then pushing up to seated. Thanks, yogis. I really hope you enjoyed that practice. If so, please do subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support free yoga on YouTube. Wishing you a lovely day.